4,380 pounds, the 22 MKSE Grey Wolf here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This has been a very popular model for the last several years, ever since its inception, and I think it's about to spike to even greater levels of popularity with the revised bedding situation that we're about to see inside. So I mentioned a different bedding situation, and at a glance, you're going, what are you talking about, dude? It's still that walk-around bed that I'm used to seeing. We still have those dual hanging closets with a full overhead cabinet. You know, our side stands have those household outlets. We got the big windows giving us lots of light. What are you talking about? What's changed? This right here. This is what's changed. They have vastly improved this model by giving you the ability to do a couple key things that aren't exactly obvious. Like, it's obvious that you've got a Murphy bed situation here, but they maintained their large pass-through compartment without needing to redesign the whole coach. It was a really smart addition that they made here. But let's say it's a rainy day and everyone's stuck inside, or it's the end of the night, or whatever the case. You can basically put your bed away so people aren't crawling all over mom and dad's bed, or grandpa and grandma's bed, or aunt and uncle's, or whatever the case may be, while still expanding your seating situation here. Now, they use their very cool, the cinema-style sofa that you see right here. The Cherokee family was the first in mainstream towables to bring that to market. A lot of brands have since adopted it, but you can thank Cherokee for making it a big deal here. Now, you've got removable armrests there. If you want to take out those little sofa bolsters, you can. There's nothing that says that you have to be there. But what's great is you really didn't lose anything in the way of storage transitioning from the fixed bed to this Murphy bed system. The sofa easily lifts up, so there's like a nice storage trunk down there, and it's separate from everything in the front outside compartment. But additionally, and this is easy to miss, both of these side stands have like open storage pockets here, and I kind of like this one right here because I think that that pocket, as well as that little sort of runway right there, I think that could make an excellent sort of, family shoe garage to help cut the clutter and keep that pile of shoes by the door from building up and tripping you, as you come and go in and out. And we had a good look at that, sofa side, bedside window there. Gives you a great look at your campsite. But if what you're looking for is a little bunkhouse that gives you effectively unparalleled views of your site instead of looking at the neighbors, this little 22 MKSE Grey Wolf absolutely brings to bear what you are looking for. That big dinette window opens for lots of airflow. Now, as we look down below, other than a little carpet square where I keep my feet clean as I come and go doing these video tours, you can see that we are a carpetless and easy cleaning floor plan. This is a pet-friendly, kid-friendly, spill-friendly design. And you notice where that also continues is under the dinette, which is the #1 most likely area where the kiddos are going to spill the red Kool-Aid, because they only spill something when it stains. Am I right, Mom and Dad? Speaking of that, if we do have spills, oop, I bumped into the kitchen cabinet here. Whoops, live from New York, it's Saturday night. But whether it's the dining tabletop or the kitchen countertop or the bathroom counter, everything is a sealed edged pressed membrane. So basically there's no way that water can intrude into that. Now for entertainment, they're really doing the same thing here that they're doing in their upper echelon, like bigger Cherokee type things. It's a simple but easily expanded upon entertainment center. So this is a Bluetooth stereo. Now you've got little auxiliary inputs and whatnot, but right here you've got an HDMI plug and you have USB plugs. There's also an HDMI plug on the back of this. So what that means in English, ladies and gentlemen, is if you want to get like a Roku stick or an Amazon Fire Stick or whatever, you can make this streaming media high-def friendly. And if you are so inclined, you can install a TV over here. And I do mean high-def friendly. Remember how I said that there's an HDMI outlet on the back of that? They've actually run the wiring through the wall so that you don't have to snake anything through the entire RV. If you choose to add a TV to this, first of all, it can mount inside or outside. But secondly, all you need is like a 3-foot little HDMI cable that you can get off Amazon for probably 99 cents from China or whatever. And, you're good to go. So we've got good viewing. We've got, expanded seating and sleeping capacities. But thankfully, we still maintain all that good privacy, despite this being, I guess, what you would technically qualify it as a more entry-level coach. One of the only problems with that big window is that it lets in so much light it actually messes with the camera, which is trying to auto-adjust for brightness, basically. So we've got those twin double beds. We got the queen bed up front. You've got an extra sleeper here. So, I mean, if you have to, if you really rack them and stack them and pack them in, obviously some of these would need to be kids, but you could sleep 7 here and you maintain good privacy. Now, speaking of privacy, not just the windows, but you've actually got a split curtain system. At a glance, over here on the bunks, you see one curtain and you're like, oh, that's annoying. However, this big curtain is actually used for the bottom bunk. You leave a portion of the top bunk open here, and they include a separate curtain just for that. So the top bunk always has a little window if they want it, and the big curtain is what would privatize the bottom bunk. Now, just like the kind of foldy bed, bendy bed, queen bed that you see over here with the storage below the sofa, we've got storage below this dinette as well. Now, this isn't the kind of daily storage where you're going to want to keep your dinner plates, but what I like is how they just didn't let an ounce of space go to waste. And I like to open these up when I can, because you can't always assume that every dinette bench has storage. A lot of brands will do things like hide a water heater under it or some kind of wiring or converter. You don't see that here. If you're curious about that little bump in there, by the way, that's the wheel well. So they've kind of hidden it under the dinette so it's not too much of an issue. And of course, we have matching storage over here under this side of the dinette. Flipping us around, spin us around like a record, baby. You can see we've got the same kitchen arrangement that we saw before. They've updated the appliances a little bit. See a little bit more of a stainless touch, like that Furrion stovetop vent hood to get that cooking heat out of the RV. But they've maintained, like I said, that sealed edge countertop material, that thermal foil countertop. And by doing a heavy-duty matching sink cover as well as that tempered glass stove cover, they have really done a heck of a job at maximizing prep space in an RV that, without those two features, would basically have no prep space. And once again, the consistency of the Cherokee Grey Wolf family here at Haylett RV works to your advantage. Because of their consistency, they do things like these extra large plywood drawers. They leave you a space for a wastebasket and your dish soaps and hand soaps underneath the giant skirted stainless farm sink. And that is a upscale feature in an entry-level camper that I absolutely love. And note those easy reach appliance outlets. Also, it's easy to not appreciate this, but that little bitty countertop right there. That little thing, if you want to put a little phone charger there, or if you want to use that to set down a drink when you're sitting on the sofa or whatever, little things, guys, they make the big differences. Kind of like this big farm sink. So it's a family camper, and if you got a baby like a newborn, you got to do a little baby bath sink, you got a great place to do it. Plus, you can actually clean big pots and pans there. So they give you a full depth overhead cabinet. They don't sink that back in relation to the microwave. Watch that. A lot of brands, if you look at the microwave, then you look at this will be pushed back and it's smaller. Here's something I recommend doing. Take the spinning tray out of that microwave, put it in the adjacent overhead cabinet and shut the door. If you can shut the door, you can probably fit a dinner plate in there. If you can't, that's a worthless cabinet. Maybe you can put a cereal box in it sideways and then dig it out, but you're not going to have to. Gas, electric, fridge, freezer, pretty standard fare there. But I like how they did include some dedicated pantry space, but with the multiple shelves. It's not just empty cabinetry. It could be pantry. It could be linens. It could be clothes. It could be anything you want. Also, take a moment to appreciate the fact that they're centralizing the air here. Again, in more basic series campers, you will still find non-ducted air conditioners with fair regularity in this industry. More and more brands are adopting this, but Cherokee's been doing it for years, and they are still also giving you the air dump option. So if you don't want to use the central air ducting, you just want to dump it all in here real quick to get the temperature down a couple degrees when you get to your destination, you can do that. And here's a little pro tip for you. When you first get to your destination, if it's just hotter than Hades in this camper, open all your cabinet doors like I've done in this kitchen. These things are like little hot boxes. If you allow that heat to escape and open your cross breeze windows for just a couple minutes, you'll be happy that you did. It's kind of like when you get into your car on a hot day and it's sweltering, sweaty, sauna hot in there. Well, if you roll down your window very briefly and while your air conditioner is kind of ramping up, you're not going to be, like you get a lot of that initial hot air out. That's kind of what I'm saying. And this is going to be one of the best friends in that regard. They still put the bigger Max Air vent fan here, even in the SE Simplified Edition version of these Grey Wolves. They still have a shower skylight and protective shower surround paneling. They're doing everything the same that they do in their more upper echelon models here in the bathroom. Like we've got that big corner-mounted sink, adult size, sealed edge countertops, and still not just a mirror glued against the wall, but still using a corner vanity. And that's an underappreciated thing. There are like 6 features in this bathroom you will use, see, feel, touch, and appreciate every single day, unless they're not here. And then you're gonna regret not having them every single day. And one of the things I like most about this trailer right here, even though this is a member of the SE series of Grey Wolves, which easiest way to think of that is Simplified Edition, makes sense. That's not, I think, what those stand for, but that's an easier way to think about it. It doesn't look like it. It looks just like all the other Grey Wolves. You still get the stable steps, the power jack, the bigger handle, the friction hinge door, solar prep. The outside of the RV really doesn't change. We still have that 67% thicker 0.04 inch new painted nose aluminum wrap right there, so you get that awesome sort of you know, wind buffeting protection stone guard, even though we have a traditional stone guard. Now, one of the things that kind of separates these Grey Wolves here is they run on a custom engineered chassis, and you can see how the A-frame here in the tongue actually integrates right into the chassis itself. That's one of the reasons this RV has a normal RV interior height, but a reduced exterior height, and only needs a double step, because it basically rides lower to the ground. Now, that also means a lower center of towing gravity, less headwinds, and it's less topsy-turvy when you're going around those sharp corners. Continuing along with the consistency trend, you have the exact same body construction here with a 3/8 fully walkable roof deck, a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking. There are some very basic entry-level brands that will have a OSB floor deck in this class and category, and that's okay. I'm not knocking them. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's just a difference between good and better. I also like that they still treat their whole hookup and kind of sewer station here all the same. If you notice, you've got this one bright white LED light here, but it's on a separate switch from everything else instead of being attached to the awning, as is traditionally the case in this business. So, you turn it on when you need it, you turn it off when you don't, so you're not blinding the neighbor. But if it's at night and you notice that your shower's not draining, so you got to get out here and empty your gray tank, you can actually see what you're doing. Because I think the last thing anybody wants to do is guess if they have a good sewer hose connection, because that's just not a problem anybody wants to deal with. But a little full outside shower here with hot and cold water might help you get through that. Be a little silver lining to that dark cloud. Also, black tank flush. That's another feature that is very often missing on the more basic entry-level offerings from a brand. That 200-pound rated cargo rack on the back there is just a crowd and fan favorite because of its flexibility. It only does whatever you want it to do. You want it for bike rack? You want it for, I don't know, coolers? I know some people transport firewood on them. You shouldn't do that because of the transport of bugs to different areas. That can hurt ecosystems, and considering we all like camping, I think that is a thing to be aware of. There's always wood at your destination. Additionally, you want a small generator to throw on the back there so you can go off grid and keep your power outlets running. Maybe you're a CPAP user and you don't want to die tonight sleeping in your camper. You can keep CPAP machine running with a small generator there. Doesn't have to be a big 4,000 job. Now, you can see here we've got our power awning. They made it as big as they could, just like all the other Grey Wolves. It still has the LED lighting under it. It still has the LED accent speakers. We still have outside TV hookups. That's what's so cool about these. Because of their insane volume build and buying power, they can just do cooler things here for less money than a lot of brands. That big campsite viewing window is always a fan favorite. And over here, instead of an outside kitchen, they built this thing with the extra outside storage. And the smaller the RV, the more important this storage becomes. Now, if you kind of like this camper, but you would prefer a little camp kitchen, then give us a call. We have a little J-Flight that might be just the thing you're looking for, or perhaps a Passport or an Apex or any of the other things that we carry here at Haylett RV. Next to that bumper, under the awning arm, you see the little pet leash latch there. What's funny is it's very simple. It's just a toy hauler tie down, a D-ring that's been screwed right into the skirt metal, but it works, and it keeps Fido safe and on your campsite. Easy come and go here, and this is good not just for the adults. The adults are like, oh, I like these steps, the anti-slam door, and that's all great. The kids, that's what this is nice for, because this is a bunkhouse. Maybe you've got littles running in and out. The stable steps, the bigger handle, the anti-slam door, all those things are going to be very kid beneficial. Like the door, it's right next to the awning. Last thing you want is when the awning's open, the kiddo flings the door open and smashes it sideways into the awning arm. That's a bad thing to have happen. Well, that anti-slam door, you got to go way out of your way to even make that thing touch the awning arm, let alone hit it hard enough to do any damage. The bigger entry handle is something everyone's going to like. And the stable steps will keep the camper from rocking and rolling and jostling around when the, you know, everybody's coming and going. So I mentioned earlier we have a simple side mount solar prep plug here, and you've got a very large compartment. Despite having that Murphy bed, they still maintain a big compartment in here, but this is also a nice little place. Like if you got a little griddle or something you want to bring with your outside grill, there is a gas grill quick connect right there for you. And that's what I like about these guys. They do everything that matters, and then they still do a couple of those fun feature flare type items, and then the reliability things like the sink and the countertops. And yet, we're here in a carpetless, ventless floor plan, you know, super pet friendly, big time family friendly. That's what this is. This is an ideal, small little get up, go, run around weekend camper that you could use for a number of years, and then when you're ready, when the kids grow up, you can swap out of this and get into that, you know, laminated couples ultralight here at Haylet RV that you've been eyeballing all these years, and God knows what's going to be available in 8-9 years when the kids are done camping. So, remember that we don't do hidden dealer fees, but we do everything else, including hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.